Hi, I'm McCrickard, and this is the fishing report for August 2020 in Virginia. This month has been a really wet month for us here in Virginia. We've had a lot of excessive rain events and heavy storms that have led to some high flow conditions on our rivers and streams across the state. Whenever you head to a river or stream, make sure you always check your local gauge station to ensure conditions are safe before you get out on the water. And remember to always wear your life jacket. Before we get into the fishing report, I want to share two exciting new state record fish that have recently been approved by our State Record Fish Committee. A big congratulations goes out to David Raines for catching an archery record flathead catfish that weighed 44 pounds, 8 ounces out of Belmont Bay on July 7th. And another big congratulations goes out to David Legg for catching the state record fall fish, 2 pounds, 8 ounces out of the Jackson River tailwater on July 24th. In reference to the high water events, smallmouth bass fishing on our rivers and streams across the state has been difficult throughout the month of August with high muddy water. However, our mountain brook trout streams have been in full flow and have created some excellent late summer trout fishing opportunities. In high muddy water, it can be beneficial to actually focus your efforts on still water, fishing lakes and reservoirs. In this fishing report, we're going to head out on the water with Dr. Mike Bednarski, our Chief of Fisheries here at the agency. Mike will show us techniques and tactics for finding resident shallow water largemouth bass even in the heat of the summer. Mike will show us tutorials on how to find fish with a topwater approach, with a buzzbait or a popper, as well as how to find fish in the heat of the day by punching lily pad fields with a Texas rig tube.
Good afternoon, I'm Mike Bednarski. I'm the Chief of Fisheries over at the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources. I just want to take the time today to pass along some fishing tips and talk about one of my favorite baits, buzzbait. This here is a buzzbait. It's one of my favorite summertime bass baits. This is a 1/2 ounce model. I like a 1/2 ounce so I can throw it a bit further. I also like to use a bright color. This is a bait where you're looking to make a lot of noise. You're looking to trigger a big fish. And it's a really great bait for not only covering water, but catching a big fish. I like to throw this on a medium heavy action 7-foot rod, basically a jig and worm rod with 50-pound braided line and a high-speed reel. And this allows me to really cover some water. Buzzbait does a really great job of covering water and coming through some thick cover. And just to show you here, we've got this grass edge. This is the type of stuff I like to fish with a buzzbait. We've got heavy cover, got 85-degree water, a little bit of a stain. And one great thing about a buzzbait is not only does it cast pretty far, it also comes through heavy cover very cleanly. You can see it coming through that mix of vegetation there. And the fish a lot of times will follow it and grab it as it comes out, delete it when it's in the cover. And it's just a great way to cover water. We just got this decent fish out here fishing a very heavy Texas rig in some of the water willow. Let me get this back. Now let me take a little bit of time to show you all what I like to do with this type of vegetation and this type of rig. So as I said before, this is a heavy Texas rig. Some might call it a punch and setup. So what I've got is I've got a 3/4 ounce weight pegged with a 4-inch crawfish tube. I really like these baits. These are a combination of green pumpkin and blue. Rig set up like this. Pull it down a little bit further. And I like this rig because this rig comes through vegetation very nicely. And with that heavy weight, it can get down in there and get where the fish live. And let me tell you a little bit about the setup I'm throwing here. So what I've got is I've got a 7'11" heavy action flipping rod, 50-pound braided line, high-speed reel. What I'm doing here is I'm flipping this heavy rig in the water willow on the right. And what you want to do when you flip is short cast out there about 15 feet. What you do is you pick up your line, pull the bait back, and let it back out. You can drop it just about anywhere you want to. I move relatively quick through this, so I'll pick it up, drop it, let it get in there, let it hit the bottom, give it 2 shakes, pick it up, pull it forward, let it drop, hit the bottom, give it 2 shakes, pick it up, rinse and repeat. And with that rig, with the weedlessness and the heavy weight, you can really move through this, you can move through it quickly, and you can get back where the fish live. We got a fish today that was back 5 or 6 feet into this, and it's very difficult to present a bait. The flipping technique, the flipping package, works very well for presenting that bait. Now one thing about this, you'll notice the very heavy tackle. So you know it's fun to fight a fish, but you don't want to fight a fish if you hook it in something like water willow. You really need to pull that fish out. My drag is locked, because what happens with a big fish like that, if it gets its head down, it's gone. So you want to pick them up, pull them out. Use very heavy line, a heavy hook, and you'll improve your success. As far as time of year to do this, we're in the middle of summer. We're out here on a lake that's known more for some deep water fishing, but there's always some shallow fish. Flipping's a real great way to get into their living room, catch them, put some extra fish in the boat, and not have to go into deep water. Bait I really like to throw for largemouth bass, popper. What we've got here is we've got a popper, it weighs about ½ an ounce, 2 number 6 trebles on it, and I like to throw this on a 6.6, this is the shortest rod I have in my boat, a 6.6 medium action bait casting rod, high speed reel with 40-pound test braided line. I really like the braided line because the lack of stretch makes it easier to work at topwater and allows you to have a really good hook set on a long distance cast with it. What I'd like to do is show you a couple of different techniques for working the popper, and hopefully it'll be something that will allow you to put more fish in the boat. So there's a couple of things I like to do with it. So I take my popper, I like to throw it right next to heavy cover like these lily pads we have up here. Now, you let it pause for a couple of seconds, and then twitch it. And then pause, and twitch it. And with the popper, you really got to feel out how the fish react to it, but a good starting point is a pop, 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 1, 2, 3, pop, 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 1, 2, 3 cadence. And it's important to pay attention to how the fish react to it. If the fish grab it right after you pause it, you probably can work it a little bit faster. If the fish grab it at the end of the pause, you may want to start working in some 5 and 6 second pauses. Read the fish, see what they'll tell you. And it's a really great bait, spring, summer, and fall. We're out here on a summer day. We've had some luck on it, 85-degree water, but I've had really good days on a popper in the spring when the water gets in the upper 50s, and I've done well on a popper into the fall as the water temperature falls through the 50s. So it's a great bait to have tied on. It's something I recommend you always throw. You know, it'll catch fish, and hope to see you on the water.
Thanks for tuning in to this month's Fishing Report. Please comment below. Let us know what you would like to see covered in a future Fishing Report. Also, if you're interested in checking out other state record freshwater fish, look at the link below to learn about some of these species caught here in Virginia. We'll see you on the water.